Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Teresa, but you can call me Cat. This is going to be a fire elemental reading for September 21st through October 20th. So we're looking at the planets Mars and Jupiter and the Sun. If you're watching this for your astrological sign, we've got Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius in the chat, in the proverbial chat. Now, the full moon in September is on the 20th, so we're really a day shy of having a double full moon in this reading slash spread, but I mean the day after the full moon energy is still going to be in effect because the full moon in October is on the 18th. So even though we're not in the full moon, we're dealing with after effects of that from September 20th Pisces full moon. Even though the full moon on the 21st here is in Aries, that Martian energy. I mean, not the full moon, the moon itself is in Aries, following the Pisces full moon on the 20th. But then in October, on the 18th, oh, it's not, what the hell? It's not in the, okay. In October, on the 18th, the moon is going to be in Aries again. And then the full moon in Aries on October 20th. I apologize for any confusion. I'm not feeling well, so my brain keeps trying to disappear into a different dimension. So, the last day of this reading, we have the full moon in Aries. We start out with the moon in Aries following that full moon in Pisces just the day before this time frame is in. I mean, this reading is going to be for whenever you find it anyway. It's just sort of a time stamp that's like coordinates of when this reading came out. There's a lot going on with the retrogrades, and I was talking about it in the Earth? I think it was the Earth elemental reading. There's a segment of that I had the timestamp in the description that was an energy report on the retrogrades going direct in October. So I'm not going to repeat that whole thing. If you go to my playlists and look at energy reports, you should be able to find that Earth elemental reading. And then in the description box, there'll be the timestamps, and you'll be able to click on the timestamp for the energy report, and also another timestamp that's separate from the readings in it that's talking about naming the inner child, if that's anything that's useful. I think that's it. About the retrogrades, though, there's 4 retrogrades that are going direct in October between the 6th and the 18th. And there's stuff going on between them and the moon and Venus. But again, I did discuss that in depth in the energy report. I mean, not like in depth, but a little, you know, I went through it a little bit more. What my general goal is for the reading for this month is, especially with all those with 4 retrogrades going direct, even though there's still going to be like 3 other retrogrades that are staying, it's sort of like an overhaul, like a tilling the soil, a closing out cycles and starting new ones kind of energy. It's sort of being allowed to come up for air after being like sucked into the dunk tank. So that's what the general focus of the reading is going to be. Now, I wanted to do another pick a card for fire this time, but that takes about 2.5 hours, and I'm not well, so I'm gonna have to do this shorter reading and then kind of make sure that I'm like starting a new series of reading types at the beginning of the month, because the way that it is right now is I've been starting a new theme of readings with fire and then stopping and doing the love reading and then doing the other 3 elemental signs, and it's kind of weird to have that block, but it just happens to be when I switched over my method it was on a fire element. So what I want to do is, this is sort of like an extra reading, like in between styles. And then at the beginning of October, on October 1st, when I go back, I think it's water signs that's first, there'll be water, air, earth, and fire that are going to be all the same kind of reading, and then the love reading will complete that, and then it'll be something else, because I don't like doing the exact same thing for the reading every month, because I think it's not helpful to have it be identical every time. So this might be like an odd style out, and I might do something different for the first. There's like a lot of emergency type things, critical appointment type things going on in my regular meat space life, and it's a little bit crazy right now, and people are tired and sick and stuff, so I might have to do shorter readings for another few weeks, but I'm gonna keep up with my content schedule, so at least there'll be something. As it is now, I think I have like 9 videos scheduled per month, but I still have a channeling round table that I've needed to do since spring, and it's sort of like the veil kind of thickened up again, and I had a lot going on, and I just put it off, and now that the veil is starting to kind of open up again, I can feel that like imminent thing. And it's part of the reason I was stalling on that is because there's like every person that was going to be at the table needed their own like seating thing, but like a glyph, and for some reason that idea is being scrapped, but I just need to figure out who's going to be there and what decks they want and what kind of tokens I'm going to use for their place settings. And I still don't know what the reading's going to be about, but it's going to be kind of involved, and I imagine there's going to be like somewhere between like 4 and 8 people, and I'm going to have to be dealing with a lot of energy flow, so I have to be kind of on for that, and I'm a little bit off right now. So anyway, I'm going to get into this fire elemental reading. There is kind of a lot going on with fire energy in terms of what's moving. But I think you could say that for almost any sign, because there's always something going on with the planets, and the moon moves every few days, so there's, a few points in the month where it's going to be in fire signs no matter what, regardless of where everything else is. Somebody is listening to some kind of entertainment really loud, and I'm hoping it's not picking up on the camera enough to get my thing, like, audio struck or something. So this is going to be a free-form reading. I'm just going to put down some cards until I feel like I have enough cards. I've got the Mini Rider-Waite, I've got the Aquarian Tarot, and I've got this Lucy Cavendish Blessed Bee deck over here. I've already cleared and shuffled them. I'm going to shuffle them a little bit more before I get started. I don't know why somebody's TV has to be that goddamn loud that it's vibrating the windows in here, but whatever. People are fucking deaf. I probably could have said all that stuff while I was shuffling these, but maybe it would have been obscured a little bit. Do you have my fan going? Because I need some airflow. I need to repaint my nails too. I don't like it when they're all plain now. I'm sure people watching my videos might find it annoying when they're all crusty and like half chipped off, but you know. Some people have their stuff critically manicured and other people like me just kind of let it do what it's gonna do. So I don't really want to be swiping acetone all over my fingernails if I don't have to. I just wait until it gets down there and then I just use the nail file to get the rest of it. If it doesn't chip off on its own. Oh, come on. Plus I only have a few colors right now and I'm kind of sick of them. I had the rigorous excitement of spending $2 on a bottle of nail polish in a while. Oh. Okay. Come on. Okay, so let me grab, okay. Just start with these ones for now. Ten of Pentacles inverted. This. Now, usually if it was Ten of Cups inverted, I would say depression, but for some reason I'm getting depression with this Pentacles one. Like my whole world, like my whole world is collapsing. We have the Star, that's the Hope card, the sort of rebuilding card. We also have this portal here that looks like it's pretty active. We have a Bird of Paradise. I'm not sure if that's really what a Bird of Paradise looks like, but in my interpretation, that's what it is. Pheasant. So this is what I'm talking about with the retrogrades. It's ending a cycle. 10 is a cycle. And then moving on to, like, what's opening up, right? This sucks. I don't want to do it anymore. This is, okay, what do I want to do? Nine of Pentacles. This is like the same bird, but it's not as bright. I just heard the future's so bright I gotta wear shades. That song's actually by a group called Timbuk 3, and we see there's 3 pentacles on its own here. Now, this isn't 10 pentacles, but it's almost where you want to be. And notice that this is a group. And this is by yourself. It's also Virgo energy. These are both Virgo cards. A lot of times if I see Virgo inverted, it tells me maturing. But it could also be immaturity. But it's weird that I'm getting depression with that. What is the 10? Oh, I'm so dizzy trying to, like, look at something on the other side of the table. Mercury retrograde. Mercury in Virgo, and then the 9 is Venus in Virgo, and there is some movement of Venus that's kind of important. Venus in Virgo until October 6th. That's one of those critical retrograde alignments. Pluto direct when Venus goes with Venus's last day in Virgo. Which might be why it's like after this change. Right? It's like the Pluto retrograde goes direct, and then there's this hope, and then Venus moves out of Virgo. But I do feel like this is sort of like rebuilding or opening up the new opportunity. Right? It might not be as grandiose as this ideal that kind of left you in this be careful what you wish for mode, but it's going to get you pretty far, and there's like you can feel proud of yourself because it's in like alignment with what you want to do, right? There's a lot of it's not like luck on your side, but you have a lot going for you if you're in alignment with yourself. And here I think this bird is really just your higher self, but it's indicative of sort of allowing yourself to work with what's happening and be in the moment and sort of connecting to your higher self. So this could be what you're looking at, and this might be some synchronicities coming up. I just realized it was kind of blurry where I was laying the cards down over here, but I was trying to make it so that when I held them upright here, they'd be in focus. So I have a secondary, like the second row here, which is, I have this 9 of Rods. So 9 of Wands, so I see 9, 9. I have the Knight of Rods. That's a 12. Could be a 1, but it's usually a 12. When is the Neptune? Neptune doesn't go direct yet. Okay. And then the 3 of Rods. Okay, so this, not only is this looking to the future, but it's also this root. 3 goes into 12, 3 goes into 9. So there's, I do see this as saying, it's like there's a, like it's like the fourth element. This is all like fire and earth. It's like something very dusty. This to me looks like a level up, right? I sit around waiting for something to happen, and I just sort of holding my position even though it's making me unhappy, right? I might be in a relationship that's sucking the life out of me, but I gotta stick it out because that's what I decided on. Or I'm stuck in this job that I hate because this is what I decided on, and I'm afraid to lose my pretend safety net of regular income. But it's never going to lead to ultimate material fulfillment. And this fire energy is happening in the gut. It's the core drive. It's your like soul instinct. But this guy here is like, it looks like this person decided, you know what, screw this stuff. I'm going to get a move out. I'm taking one of these rods with me, and I'm going to go where I need to be, right? I'm not just standing here in a position of weakness. I'm going to, maybe I'm just going to take my last paycheck here and go and move out, or I'm going to take my suitcase and dump you and get the hell out of here. And notice how there's this, like, it looks like smoke. It's supposed to be feathers or something, but it looks like smoke coming out of the crown here. It's like a, and we see here in this star card that's above it, it looks like a darkness that's clearing. Right? It's like some kind of portal from the crown into the soul star chakra that sits above your head is allowing, is like helping or allowing the opening. A lot of it does have to do with retrograde energy and those things that are going direct. This is, what is this? Mars in Aries? The sun in Aries. The sun in Aries. 9 is the moon in Sagittarius. What's that? Oh, the 11th of October. 10th and 11th of October, moon in Sagittarius. And that's it for this cycle. There is Saturn goes direct on the 11th. So we do have that timestamp here, and I think I saw the timestamp for the 6th as well. What's the 6th? That was this one? Yeah, Venus, and then this. So we switch from one 9 to another 9 in between those two retrogrades going direct. So this one was Pluto and this one is Saturn. It's like a domino effect. Notice that this person has a hat on. Right, she's got a hat on. Actually, all of it, well, these people here all have some kind of headgear on, but it does indicate, I just heard crowning achievement. You know, it's like you earn your wings, like the bird, by standing up for yourself and being like, screw you guys, I'm going home. Let me get this down here a little bit more. Come on. Alright, this is, I'm waiting, I'm standing around, this sucks. And I'm like, peace out. You know, I'm not gonna do this anymore. And this is kind of like, this is a little bit like, where do we go from here? A little bit of Evita vibes. But also notice that this person left with 1, and once they've set out on their journey and they're looking at a new horizon, suddenly they've got 3 here. So it's kind of like the way is opening up and there's some kind of other options, right? Where it's like, I have to stay here because I have no option, and I'm taking a stand for myself, and like, wait, no, I do have, there is something, there's something actually to look forward to. And I see the same number 3 here, and it does make me think of, for some reason the 3 here is representing to me an, a connection to the higher self. And I don't know why. But it's sort of, if you think of the Lover's card, the 3 on it, there's the masculine energy, the feminine energy, and then the angel, which is like a higher dimensional being. Or the Chariot, where you have the feminine lion, the masculine lion, and then the unified being in the Chariot. So it's like the dark side, the light side, and then the unity. That's what those 3 things are. Right? It's not necessarily a man and a woman, or like me and my person. It's I've integrated. I'm integrating my shadow. Right? This might be like, I'm afraid to. My ego is preventing me from moving out of a situation that's not bringing me any happiness or like material stability. This indicates that there might be a healing of the inner child as well. Integration of the inner child. And then again, there's cloudiness here that's sort of moving away, does indicate that the retrogrades going direct are going to help pull this darkness open and allow for better integration or easier integration or the completion of integration. Right? And the general idea is that your dark side is those parts of you which you've abandoned, that you don't want to know about, that you don't want to think about, that you don't like. Parts of you that sort of dictate how you think about yourself, and then at the same time, out of the other side of your mouth, when you talk to yourself, you're like, that's not me. But it might have been. And the way to integrate it is to sort of call it out and deal with it. So let me get some other cards here. Some little cards for the in-between places. I'm going to spread these out a little bit more. I can see where I want these cards to be. Oh, it's like a window pane. Lock your doors, the rain is coming through the window pane. That's Queen, but I can't place what song it is right now. Maybe now your struggle's all in vain. I still can't place it. That's all I can get from that song. I think that goes down here. Oh, I get 3 cards here. Okay. There's only supposed to be 1. Oh, okay, I see how this is. Maybe not. Just have like a French door over here. Or like a trifold kind of situation. Okay. It's really bothering me what song that is now. I have to look that up. Ow, my knees are crunchy. I'm gonna look that up. I have to wake up my computer for a second. Hello, computer. Okay. Looking at oh, it's Hammer to Fall. How silly. Yes, it is Hammer to Fall. Kind of a song about like overhauling stuff anyway. Okay, so I've got all this crap here now. So I have the Ace of Cups here, and this is I'm reading it as it's in the challenge position. So we do have emotional content here, but it's sort of the distance between holding your position under some kind of duress, D-U-R-E-S-S, duress, and attaining the happiness is in striking out where you want to be. Now, here I've got the 2 of Wands. That's the Mars and Aries. And it's inverted. When it is like this, it makes me, it's like I don't have a choice. or I've already made my decision. Right? I've made my decision to set out, and now this opportunity is opening up. I feel like the 2 is coming in here as this, again, this sense of duality, of integration. Like I've made a choice to integrate instead of holding my position in I'm only in the daylight. Because look at this. It's like bright daylight. But here, this smoke coming out of the hat could indicate like this could be like night falling in. Right? There's some kind of darkness setting in, and that's where the integration happens. I've got the Hangman inverted here, which means the guy is upright, which tells me a knight, right? A knight upright, like this knight over here, the Knight of Rods, tells me the Hanged Man, which is normally like this, Hangman inverted. Right, this guy is going to be a knight. He's gotten off his thinking post and he's ready to go out and do stuff. And this is coming in between the unhappiness and the standing in the same place. It's like, Eureka, what am I doing here? It's making me think, I'm hearing the Monkees song, what am I doing hanging around? I should be on that train and gone. I should be riding on that train to San Antone. What am I doing hanging around? To San Antone, what am I doing hanging around? It's one of those Mike Nesmith songs that's so good. So between this material existential trauma here and the star card, Aquarian energy, which is where Jupiter and Saturn have been sitting, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Now, her energy is Jupiter and Capricorn, which are those 2 planets, Sagittarius and Capricorn, right? Jupiter and Saturn, which have been retrograding in Aquarius. And we see that difference here. So with those things going direct, there's a hell of a lot of growth and a transformation, right? 13 is that death cycle or transformation with this. I don't know if that's in focus. Queen of Pentacles. This is sort of like a hint, like we're going to change this whole thing over. And we see this arch here in this card, and then I see the arch of the chair here as being similar. But I also see this figure over here as sort of embodying what this is going to be. Notice how sunny and golden this is here. This is the solar chakra. It's like, this is what I'm programmed to do, and these are the first steps. This isn't necessarily happening like right now, but it's like soon. Right, this Knight of Wands energy that's coming in with the Hangman is sort of the steps to be where it's going to be. And the 12 here comes before the 13. I'm also thinking that the 13 breaks down to 4. And it's like this 9 over here, for some reason, wants to be a 4 as well. But let me see what's over here. So I have the King of Swords, Temperance inverted, which I was thinking about Temperance for some reason a minute ago. Sagittarian energy, so that's that retrograde that's going to be going direct. When is this? On the 18th of October, when the moon goes into Aries again. What's the King of Swords energy? Capricorn and Aquarius. Okay, so that's that same energy again. And the 2 of Pentacles this time, so another 2. This is like juggling something, and I feel like this is those 2 planets. Right, they're sort of tied together, and once one of them goes direct, the other one's coming right after it. And here's the ship, right? This is like, my ships are going to come in. And there's this weird, it's like it keeps flapping around between Pentacles and Wands. But I feel like the fact that there's earth energy coming in with the fire energy sort of indicates that all this stuff that's been desired is going to start anchoring into the material world. Right? All this, like, you know, all this tension I've had in my gut, all this, like, I'm supposed to be doing something with my life, and I know this isn't right, but I've just got to maintain, because it's like, what if it's, you know, what if there's nothing else available? It's like, as at a certain point, there's a critical mass where you can't do what isn't in your soul purpose to do anymore. It's like universal timing kicks in, and it's like you don't have a choice. You gotta move out. Like, move out. Move out, move up. The Lover's inverted also indicates the lack of choice there. And this is indicating the connection between what's coming in and looking for what's coming in. So this is Gemini energy, and it's inverted. And it could be a choice, right? Inverted, it could be lack of choice. It could be healing, like this Temperance card, meaning like I'm sick, like I'm like waiting, like looking for what's coming in my future is making me sick. But it's not really that. It's like not doing what my life purpose has been making me sick. But what I'm seeing here is the Gemini North Node retrograde. And this looks like an indicator marker for like the north. Like a compass point. Like to face your true north. Like what direction are you looking in? What direction is your life going to? And also this idea that your whole world is getting an overhaul. Like the whole, like, encompassing whatever of your life. This is like if you've got something burrowing in your skin, we're gonna dig it out. So there's this idea of like, and again, because Gemini is the twins, there's an integration and duality involved there. Right, digging to the root cause. Right, because 3 is the root of 9. Now, over here, I've got the Queen of Swords, so I have an OTP here, the King and the Queen of Swords. Queen here, that's another 13, so another transition, transformation, death cycle happening between the Knight, the 13, and the 3 of Rods here. I'm seeing this as justice. This is sort of like being, the case of your life is about to be reviewed in a higher court. Now that could be something to do with literally legal battle that's been sucking the life out of you. And there could be like the judge could rule something that really helps you out that you might not necessarily have asked for, but it relieves you of the burden of the situation. Right? Because she looks like a judge here. But she's a sort of a lower vibration of justice. And the High Priestess. Let me see her energy. Virgo and Libra. So that has to do with some of those other energies that are going on around this time. But there's a transformative energy in terms of communication or creativity involved with the thought process. This is, my thoughts are clear, and this is, my thoughts are more creative. A shadow aspect of Aquarian energy is to overthink things. With those 2 planets, those 2 heavy, like, giant planets, right? Jupiter and Saturn, fire and earth, going direct, it's sort of, there is a clearing. We see fewer clouds here and then some clouds that are settling here. There's been a lot of haze and confusion, especially coming out of all that Aquarian stuff that was going on in December, January, and February of this year, of December 2020, and then the beginning of this year. So, because this is perception, it's thoughts, it's communication. And it also has to do with vision and justice as well, to some extent. But it's like an indication of thoughts will be clearer, thoughts will be more creative and or just, or you'll be able to think more clearly and communicate more clearly and have kind of a better understanding of what your future is going to be, right? It's like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life. I don't know my life purpose. I just know it's not what I've been doing. And it's this sort of like internal inertia that just sort of starts pushing you forward, and you're like, oh, it's not quite a full moment either. It's not like, yay, I'm going to take a flying leap and it's going to, without a parachute, and it's going to be fine. This is more like digging yourself up from underground. You know, like you might have taken a leap before and you landed and your legs got stuck and you're like Rumpelstiltskin with your leg in the floor. And then you're like, what the hell, man? Oh. This is like, you know what? I don't have to be stuck in the floor anymore. I'm like getting out of here. I'm going to get a higher perspective. So some of it is really going to be jacking into to that crown energy. And I also see this as throat chakra blockage. Sore throat, mucus, breathing problems, anxiety, afraid to speak in public, going hoarse, things like that, laryngitis, all those kinds of things. Alright, so let me get some... Ow. Blessed be... Blessing on a battle that cannot be avoided, 29, and then 39, a blessing for support. So this looks like the Knight of Swords, but it could be this Knight of Rods. It doesn't really matter. It could be the King of Swords on the move. Blessing for support, 39. That's at 3 and 9 again. And then a blessing for a battle that cannot be avoided. This is essentially the energy of going from here and like, no, I need to stand up. I got to fight for myself. I need to set out and do something. This is very much the same energy, especially with that burning brown kind of warm colors. Even, I mean, it's sort of fiery colors, but it's also very earthy. It's like a red ochre, whatever. 29 breaks down to 11, which can deal with universal timing, but it could also be that duality, union of duality coming together, integration. It breaks down to 2 again. We see those 2s there. So having these 2 2s here with their Roman numerals looking like 11 does indicate that sort of like rapid leveling up, right? It's like, I'm not going to be coming back to this same cycle in the same vibration. If I'm going to come back to this level again, I'm going to be to this post again. I'm going to be on, I'm going to take the elevator up to floor 37 instead of being stuck down here on floor 9. Right? I'm making my way up to the penthouse where, you know, I'm going to be sitting on top of the building looking at the birds and stuff. This guy does look like the Knight of Swords because it looks like he's in the air, but it could be water. It doesn't really matter, but this support here really does give me air energy. It's like the support is coming from your higher self. Like this is your higher self, your angels, your guides, whatever, being like, all you had to do was send out that send me that pigeon and let me know you needed me. This is sort of like not asking for help. This is like I'm ready to like battle my own separation of self, and like the support comes from working together, like integration. Also, like you and yourself are working together instead of apart from each other, but also you and your higher self. So there's sort of that three element of like me, myself, and I, but also this element of like of the nine is sort of let's expand that exponentially. Let's pull in even more energy. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. And again, this is all stuff it's sort of like cycles ending, integration, upheaval, like a new continent rising up out of the water, right? Like maybe Atlantis sinking and Hawaii popping up, or Lemuria sinking and Atlantis popping up, that kind of stuff, where it's like moving into, it's like a machine just kind of pushing things up to a level where it needs to be. But again, there's that there's a duality there. It's stuff that's interconnected. There was a little bit of all of the elements in here, a little bit of water and some air, and then a lot more earth going on. But in general, with this fire energy, what the retrogrades are doing is like pulling you through a portal, through a gateway into your next level of existence without having to divest yourself of your current physical body. That's why we see 2 13s here, but they're not the death card itself. It's queens. It's like finding a way to, through your own, it's like you create your own life, but you have to sort of be in touch with the higher aspects and the darker aspects of yourself to do that. So that's what that's about. If you haven't been working on yourself and your situation, it's gonna be bottlenecking when those retrogrades go direct for those couple weeks in October. And those full moons have been really kicking up some stuff lately. Alright, so if you want to get a personal reading and find out more information about that, I have a list of the readings that I offer and how much they cost down in the description box underneath this video. So I've got a lot of stuff here besides readings. Everything's through my Linktree, linktr.ee/CATtheMinion. So if you found this interesting or helpful, consider donating energy exchange at that tip jar, PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo. I have 2 coloring books. I have dark poetry, merch, and prints and actual art items. There's a coupon code for Etsy, 3star17. You get 17% off your purchase of 3 or more items. Some of those items, like my chapbook packs, which include some of this writing and miscellaneous pieces of art, or I call them synchronicity stimulus packets. They're only like $3.50. It's like the cost of a greeting card these days, so you can get 3 of them and then get a discount, so it's not as, so it's a little cheaper. Or anything on Etsy. So the stuff that's a few bucks, $10, $20, $150, you still get that discount if you get 3 or more items. And I've got social media. You can come and hang out with me. Sometimes I'm dry and witty and can make people laugh, and other times I'm just bitching about whatever. And then I post art and things and stuff there. So check all that out. Again, that's through the Linktree. And if you go through the Linktree, that code should pop in at the top of the Etsy page. And then I got my email down here, so any questions or if you want to get a reading, you can email me there. And that's thecatcamebackatcamp, all one word. Even though it's in caps here, it's lowercase, at gmail.com. And it's going to be in the description box somewhere and also through the link tree. So the link tree is a little easier. And then all of these things are going to be down in the link tree. So you just go there and click on it and it will help you find it with greater facility. Oh, there's one other thing I was going to ramble on about, but now I forgot what it was. So I guess you don't have to listen to me blather on about whatever it was that I forgot. Alright, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.